insecurity on his part. Okay? So, if he encourages you, if he respects you, if he does these kind of things for you, you get 1 point. And if he doesn't, you don't get any. That's 4 so far, or 5 so far. We got 2 more. So hopefully on your piece of paper here, you may or may not have a few marks or not. And we'll talk about it later. If you want to talk about your particular relationship, save it for after we get the presentation, and we'll kind of go on through it from there. Number 6, do your friends like the way he treats you? As I say, he's not Romeo and you're not Juliet. It's not you against the world. That's crazy. If you haven't seen Romeo and Juliet, the Shakespearean play, I hope you have. It's really good. And, in that play, it's about 2 young kids, I think they're 14, who fall desperately in love. Their parents are trying to keep them apart. It's them against the world. They end up committing suicide at the end of the play and kind of going from there. The moral may be that love overcomes all, or it may be about the indiscretions of youth. I'm not entirely sure at this point. But your friends can really be a great barometer for your relationships. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, a young woman, I think she's about 22 or so, who was talking about her relationship. And she was like, this and this, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, you need to dump this guy because there's actually not love there. But she couldn't see it because of chemicals. Your friends are often a better judge of a guy than you are because of these damned chemicals, as it were. Especially when you first meet a guy, all of this chemistry is going on. It's called chemistry because it really is chemistry about your genes intermingling in some way. And you oftentimes can't really see how a guy is actually treating you or what a guy's actual feelings are because you want so desperately for that fantasy to come true. So what I recommend is that you ask your close friends, and particularly your close male friends, brothers, cousins, exes who you're close with, whatever, about the guy. I have a lot of female friends who use me for this. They come to me and they say, Michael, what do you think of this guy? And I'll tell them if they think he's a douchebag or not, if there's something that sets me off wrong or not, if something about the way he acts towards her isn't quite right. And it's really easy to get into that position where you're kind of like, oh, well, it's, you just simply don't understand the love that we have. But oftentimes your friends really do understand the love that you have. So again, if your friends like him, if your friends respect him, if that kind of thing goes on, you get 1 point, and if not, you get no points. Number 6. And finally, number 7. Does he look at you like he'd crawl over broken glass and drink hot lava to get in your pants? Not, does he only look at you and only you? That doesn't exist with real guys. So many women ask me, how do I get my guy to be obsessed with me and only me, to never look at porn, never look at any other girl, blah, 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 blah. If he's a straight guy, that's simply never going to happen, right? I know it's sad. I know it's devastating, but it's true. Even me, I have a wonderful, amazing, sexy, beautiful, fantastic girlfriend, and I still check other girls out. Now, I'm not a dick about it, like some guys are. The guy's leering at other women while you're trying to have dinner with him. He is obviously badly socialized, but nonetheless, does he look at you? Do you find him appreciating you physically? Does he check you out? The visual is actually very important to guys, and if he's not looking, it means, unfortunately, he's not physically attracted anymore. Now, this can happen sometimes when a guy's with a woman for a long time. He kind of stops appreciating what's right in front of him, even if it's a beautiful, wonderful woman. But, plain and simple, take yourself out of the situation a little bit. Ask yourself, does he actually check you out? Does he seem to lust after you in some way? If he does, that's 1 point. And if he doesn't, that's 0 points. Okay? So that's the 7 questions from there. Let's just review the questions really quickly, and then we'll get into some other material about this stuff. So the questions are, does he say, I love you, or variations of it? I adore you, I like you, you're great, things like that, whatever it's going to be. Does he make you a priority in his life? Not the priority, not the number 1 priority all the time, but does he make you a priority in his life? Does he tell his friends about you and show you off? Does he respect and encourage you? Does he care about your pleasure during sex? Do your friends like the way he treats you? And does he look at you with lust and physical appreciation? Seems kind of simple, right? A lot of people come on to me and they say, Michael, I want some magical question that I can ask him that will unhook his brain, that will cause him to open up and express his true, passionate feelings, blah, blah, blah. That kind of thing doesn't really exist. It's really a matter of being a bit of a detective a little bit and being a little rational in some way. And your gut does matter, You know, oftentimes women will fall into the trap of either thinking he loves her when he doesn't, or thinking he doesn't love her when he does. But your gut can be wrong. Like I said, chemicals, evolution, all those things addle your brain. So sometimes you find yourself looking at a guy and feeling the opposite of what is actually true. So, does he really love you? Depends on how you define the word love. Like we said before, what men mean by love and what women mean by love can be very, very different. But let's talk about what we can deduce based on our little worksheet here, our little 7 questions. If you got all 7 points, he thinks you're a goddamn angel and is good at showing it. You've got a real gem of a guy there. You should hold on to him desperately, like somebody on the side of the boat about to fall over. If you got 5 or 6 points, he loves you. Focus on the good. Like I said, not all guys are going to be able to express their love in all 7 of these ways. Not all guys are going to be great at saying, I love you. Not all guys are going to be great at celebrating you the way they probably should, especially guys who are a little bit older who perhaps were raised in a more misogynistic culture. 3 or 4 points, there's something there. There's affection there, but there's probably just some other crap going on through his brain. You got to figure out from there if you really want to stick with this guy or not. He might be a project. I can say from my own experience, sometimes love isn't enough. It might be that you're with a guy who really does, quote unquote, love you in some way, but that doesn't mean you should stay in the relationship if he's controlling, if he doesn't make you happy or help you be happy, as I said before. And if you only got 1 or 2 points, if only 1 or 2 of the things that I mentioned in this call so far kind of got ticked off on your piece of paper, douchebag, run. He's either using you or he resents you or he's somebody who just is not emotionally intelligent enough to be in a really, really powerful, wonderful, monogamous, long-term relationship. Okay? So hopefully you've gone through the paper there and kind of marked that off. Now let's talk about what goes on next. What you're probably feeling right now and where we go next. Okay. If you're like the thousands of other women I've done this with, you're probably feeling one of 3 emotions right now. Emotion number 1, first, you might be feeling relief. You might have found out that one special guy really does love you, even if he's not always great at showing it, and you can relax and try to enjoy your relationship. In that case, it probably is some level of toxic insecurity that's really causing the problem in your relationship. If you can simply accept your guy for being a guy and understand that guys don't always express love the same way that women want guys to express love, you can do quite well. Good job. Congratulations. Second, you might be feeling sadness. You might have found out that the relationship you're in is broken in some way, and you might be wondering how you fix it and get the love and adoration you deserve. How do you either take the guy you're with now and create a relationship where he really is in love with you and can show it properly, fix whatever communication problems you might have, and really have the kind of relationship you deserve? And third, you might be feeling anger or even devastation. You might even be mad at me. That happens sometimes too. You might have found out he really doesn't love you the way you need and deserve to be loved, that he's used you in some way, that he's lied to you, that he's not the man you want him to be, and doesn't feel about you the way you need him to feel. No matter what you're feeling right now, though, I want to give you a very special gift. And the gift I want to give you is the magic power, quote unquote, to truly understand men, to connect with men, to communicate with men on a primal level, to never feel anxiety or doubt or anger with guys at all, to be that one woman who magnetically attracts wonderful guys and who inspires the guys you already know to step up and be the men you deserve. How? Well, do you remember at the beginning of this call that I talked about a survey? Remember, I asked women, if you had telepathy and could read any man's mind, what is the one thing you would desperately want to know? What I didn't tell you is that I also sent a survey to over 50,000 men. And I asked them one simple question that got a shocking response and that will change everything for you when it comes to getting the connected, wonderful relationship that you deserve. What was the question? What's the one thing you desperately wish the woman in your life knew but could never tell her? But could never tell her. And even though I didn't expect guys to say much, I actually, when I sent this survey, I figured we'll get a few responses. We'll get a few guys to say a few things, and all they'll really talk about is sex, right? But I got amazing responses. Men, guys, hundreds and hundreds of guys actually opening up,